Hello and namaste. My name is Inge Patsch and I today would like to talk with you about the world system model. The world system model was developed by Tony Hodgson from the International Futures Forum. And the base idea behind it was to have a representation of the complexity of the global problematic which we are facing now, so that decision makers or educators have a tool which they can use to show this to others. So it is basically established as like 12 key issues, which are called nodes in the system, and which are so-called nodes for sustainable or even regenerative living patterns. So patterns which are able to be perpetuated on a long run and even would give back and make the world a more beautiful world as it's possible, as Charles Eisenstein would say. So among these 12 nodes are like, we can cluster them into four rough categories. So the first category could be called the planetary viability, which includes water, the biosphere and climate, as kind of the baseline on the processes which are our reference to the planet of which we are part of. The second group is can be clustered as, or could be called, the resource balance, which is involving all the spheres of trade, as well as the whole topic of food and agriculture, as well as the energy use which we have. The third cluster could be titled human stewardship, which includes topics such as habitat and infrastructure, wealth, as well as governance, and the way how people get involved in decision-making processes. And last but not least, the last group has another three nodes, which could be called the human qualities, or what is quality of life, which involves the way we see the world, our well-being and our health, as well as our community, or our social well-being, so to say. All these 12 nodes are connected to each other and form 66 interconnections, which represent the dynamic between the nodes. So every interconnection is defined by a reciprocal influence. So this means if you change one thing, the other might change, and this is going in both directions. These influences have different strengths, so some references or some interconnections are stronger than others. And change going on can be propagated. So a change in governance and institution might influence energy, and this energy might influence, for example, food and agriculture and so on. So this could be perpetuated, and therefore we can also analyze first as well as second order effects on a change in one aspect on the full system. So this system allows us, between looking into the individual nodes, it allows us to also understand or have a first analysis on what are the key nodes where exponential change could happen, because exponential change is otherwise something which we tend to keep out of sight, or which is not so present for us. It can help us understanding where there might be tipping points in the system which have a discontinuity when something is happening or things would change, as well as it can help us to kind of visualize the complexity of decision making of our nowadays system, because there is no such thing as easy forward topics. So when can we use now the world system model? So one would be, it can be used in education. So if you want to educate people about this idea, which we can call one planet living, or Gaia, or world systems theory, or how can we use it. And it can be used to discuss local phenomena as well as the whole world. So you don't have to use it like literally for the full planet, but you could even look at all these 12 nodes in the context of a city or of a bioregion, for example. It is used to develop strategic resilience, so to see, okay, how can we model or design a system in a manner that it is resilient. So that means that processes in there have a certain continuity, and even small disturbances do not immediately throw it out. As well as the third place of applying is to saying, okay, you can use it to interpret different horizons of people. So how do people talk about it? How are people having different worldviews? So it can help to have a look at this. And I will post another video on the topic of three horizons, which is a model which is very nicely connected to this one. Meanwhile, I hope you enjoyed this short introduction into three horizons. All the graphics which have been used from the model itself are thank you from International Futures Forum. All the other graphics have been downloaded or I have been making it myself. Thank you very much.